Hey guys, it's Karl. So a video that I haven't done in a while, it's just a good old standard tech unboxing haul. I've received so much stuff over the summer that I couldn't categorize it into one single price category. So this is just dope tech that's come in, and I've always got you guys hooked up. You can win one of the items from today. Just be sure to sub to the channel, share this with all your friends, all your buddies who want to win some of this stuff. Don't fall to the YouTube spam. Still struggling with that, so follow me over on Instagram. That's where I correspond shipping info, and I'll get one of them shipped out. We'll start off with my addiction. We're sticking to the orange theme. This is Dbrand dark plates. So Dbrand just dropped these retro looking dark plates. So if you're from the 90s, if you're a kid growing up playing the see-through Game Boy colors, this is what this series reminds me of. So they've got a couple different colorways. Obviously, me being team orange, I had to get that, and you can kind of see how dope this looks kind of throughout. So it's actually kind of translucent, semi-transparent. You can see some of the underneath of the PlayStation, and they also have these skins that run across the spine just to give it a complete look. So like I said, they have got orange, they've got blue, I think they have purple. And as a little Easter egg in binary, when Dbrand released these plates originally, they got a cease and desist letter from PlayStation. So they kind of put that email in that 0101 binary on the inside. So I think that's super dope. Dbrand is always kind of screwing around with companies. They're the robots. They kind of just do whatever they want, and they sell a shitload of stuff. So good on them. Orange, you got to have that hooked up, and I think this is a dope little addition to my PlayStation. Speaking of Team Orange, Nomad makes some great accessories for iPhones, for Apple Watches. You can see this is a dope new orange strap for the Apple Watch. It not only fits the Ultra, but all, of course, Apple Watches, they all have the same rail system. So previously, Nomad had this really cool orange colorway for one of their Apple Watch straps. So it's slightly different in orange. So depending on your taste of orange, this is really getting orange technical. Their older one, a bit more saturated, a bit more highlighter orange or a construction pylon orange. I know that's not for everyone. So they came out with this new color called Blaze, a bit more muted, a bit more on the yellower side of orange. And it actually, this is kind of sitting off camera, is like identical to like my Singer Porsche, which is like my all-time grail car to get one day in this exact color. So you could say that the band matches the car, and like I said, these swap onto any Apple Watches as the rail system is pretty much the same. Keeping on Apple stuff, so if you remember from WWDC, we had the new iOS 17 update. So they had this new feature called standby mode for iPhones. When they sit on a stand, this specific dock was actually in the keynote, so this is the one from 12 South. Your iPhone kind of turns into a display which can display useful information like an alarm clock, like stocks, whatever info you want, you can have that set up on your phone. This exact stand was shown into the keynote. I know a lot of you were actually asking about it, so I got one here in studio to test out. So a couple things I like, obviously 12 South makes some really dope stuff. Their build quality is pretty much on par with Apple. It would have to be in Apple's official keynote. So this base is nice and heavy. It's made out of metal. So a couple of different things. It unfortunately doesn't come with its own MagSafe connector, so you need to bring your own in. Technically, this does cost 35 bucks right now. I know it's on sale with your own MagSafe connector, so an extra 40-ish. So you're looking at $70 for the full combo, and you can kind of see how the MagSafe connector slots into the middle. So you still have the cable that runs through the bottom, and when you have that in landscape mode, unfortunately, you can still see a hint of that cable running underneath, which I'm not the biggest fan of. If you just have the phone, I guess, in normal portrait, like most people, when I charge my phone, you won't see it. So unless your OCD drives you crazy, you might want to reconsider. But other than that, it's a MagSafe enabled charger, obviously the one official shown on Apple's keynote. So if you want to kind of jam out with that, it obviously charges other things MagSafe. So for example, a pair of AirPod Pros, got them, and you can see you can tilt this little stand and kind of articulate it. But once again, you've still got that weird cable that runs out. So I'll leave that at that. So next off, similar sort of tech coming from a completely different product. So this is the new Pixel tablet. If you haven't seen it, created a separate video, but in case you missed it, this is some pretty dope tech. So I wish Apple had this for their iPad lineup. This is essentially a separate little hub coming within the Pixel tablet that you can mount the tablet to, and now it operates as a separate display hub. It gives your tablet a second life when it isn't really on, typically when you're not using your tablet. Like it sits off to the side, it's just like a black screen, doesn't really display any useful info. Now when you're not using your tablet, you just simply can mount it and your tablet can display info like that clock, like your photos within Google Photos. And I know typically Nest Hubs, or I guess now this new Pixel tablet plus Google Assistant, are that entryway or gateway into a smart home ecosystem, so you can ask Google all sorts of questions. I won't activate any of your Nest Hubs or any of your Google phones with any questions, or will I? Hey Google, tricked ya. So next off, if you really want to focus on good audio, so I know that the Pixel tablet plus that stand, it's like half decent, but if you really want some good sound, this is one of the best, not only Bluetooth speakers, but just speakers I've used in general. So this is the Soundcore Motion X600. So this guy costs $200. It's really meant for in-home use. You could theoretically kind of carry this around from room to room. You've got around 12 hours of battery life on it, but what really makes this good is the spatial audio on this. And this is typically 1/5, even maybe close to 1/10, depending on what brand you're looking at for this high fidelity audio experience. And this is actually the #1 ranked wireless speaker under $200 according to DxOMark, which just showcases the value that you're getting here for the money. So this speaker has a 50-watt output, which is pretty decent for its size. And within the Soundcore app, you can actually change the EQ of it to suit your listening needs. And this speaker is high-res certified. And obviously with spatial audio enabled, the sound just seems a lot more fuller, a lot more immersive. It feels like you're in that experience, feels like you're right next to the band or whoever's playing. Depending on your song choice, I'll let you guys kind of listen and take your pick of which you prefer. You can actually really tweak and customize your EQ for your own experience. So obviously each different music genre has a different EQ. So I've kind of messed around with mine. I'm really into deep, heavy bass music. So obviously that's different than jazz music, than classical music. And overall, it's just a really well-designed speaker for the value that you're getting. Like I said, compared to a lot of other competitors that can cost, 5 times the price. For the amount of tech and for the loudness, for the richness of music you're getting, all in this one pretty compact form factor, I don't think you can go wrong. So next off, we have a completely different piece of tech. So this is the Insta360 Link. This is a 4K camera that's a simple plug and play. So funnily enough, you can kind of see behind me, I'm using the Pro Display XDR. That's like a $5,000–6,000 computer. For some reason, Apple did not include a built-in webcam. I'm either staring weirdly down at my MacBook Pro camera, even though the call is happening up here, or if I'm using that with my Mac Studio, I don't have any sort of camera, which is a huge shame. This is where I think this thing is a simple plug and play. So it just sits on top. It's got a 4K video output. It's rocking a 1/2-inch sensor, so the quality is really good. And it's built around a lot of AI features. So it does have AI tracking, just like Apple's Center Stage. So this will actually track if you're moving around in frame, it will kind of follow you. It also can articulate, so both into portrait mode and similar to Apple's, once again, desk view. It's got the same name. This camera will actually flip down and record what's going on around your hand. Say you're typing on a keyboard, you can have or showcase whatever that may be. It's also got gesture control, noise canceling, and has its own privacy mode setting. So a lot of features built in, but the biggest thing, it's just rocking the one cable with USB-C. I think this is the first webcam with just standard USB-C. I think all the older ones like Logitech still somehow use like USB-A, micro USB. It just baffles me how I need an adapter if I'm using it on an Apple product. So super dope. Highly recommended. So next off, you got a highlight from this from the X600 speaker. It's what I was using on the app. So this is the new Zenfone 10 smartphone. This is essentially a premium smartphone. So it's rocking all the latest. It's got the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. It's got 16 gigs of RAM, 50 megapixel main camera, 144 hertz refresh rate. It's got a standard headphone jack. It's just like all the things people love about a smartphone in a compact form factor. I know that phones have just ballooned in size. You can actually use this like comfortably with one hand. It's got front-facing speakers. It comes with a couple different colorways. I've just got mine in the blue, which I'm a fan of. It's just like a dope device, like a true like little techie's delight that not the masses will know about. So definitely should be on your radar too. So speaking of dope tech, in case you've missed it, this is the Lenovo Yoga Book 9i. This video went absolutely viral for me, both on socials, on YouTube. This is essentially a 2-in-1 laptop, 2 screens, like a full legit 2-screen laptop. You don't actually have a keyboard technically built into this. It's its own separate Bluetooth one, which you can attach. So you can use it in a couple different ways. Obviously, in tablet mode, if you want the virtual keyboard, you can slap this Bluetooth keyboard on top, or you can build like the ultimate hack PC with 2 legit screens. So it does come with this little cover case as well. It becomes literally this thing, which I've never seen before in a piece of tech. And like I said, you can stream snipe. You can have one game playing up top, or you playing the game. You can watch the stream on the bottom. You can multitask. You can code. It's this unique build laptop that I don't think anyone has come close to this kind of execution. So props to you, Lenovo. You've created one of the most interesting laptops, definitely, of the year. Okay, quickly to end off, I'll just kind of hammer through the next two. This is the Backbone controller. I've actually been playing a bit of mobile gaming. You can just slot your smartphone of choice. It's available in iOS or Android, and just having tactile feedback of actual buttons to mash when you're playing mobile gaming, playing a lot of Call of Duty Mobile, just racking up the kills with this trigger. This is the best handheld gaming rig thing that I've seen. And last but not least, this one's honestly just for me. This is not tech related, but this has come in, had to showcase it. So the Razer Crest Studio, I'm a huge fan of Lego. Obviously, this studio is surrounded in this UCS, the Ultimate Collector Series. This is theoretically my next build, which is on deck. I'm not too sure if I can get to this summer. I'm just so packed, but this is just like tantalizingly waiting, staring at me sitting off in the studio this way for me to get to it. And that is obviously the last addition to this unboxing haul, because I want to get to this soon. If you have a favorite, let me know down below in the comments. Make sure you're subbed. We went through a lot of stuff today, so hope you guys enjoyed seeing some of the coolest tech out this year so far. Peace.